Good morning. On this screencastify, I'm going to show everyone how to do the language uh, and symbol shortcuts on your Chromebook. I will also point you in the right direction if you're on a different type of device. So to get started, I made this presentation that I will share with all of you as well. And um, this outline sort of points you in the right direction. So if you want to do this the old-fashioned way with just inserting symbols one by one, that's option one. Option two, I'm going to show you how to use the international keyboard, as well as to change your keyboard to a different type of keyboard on the Chromebook. I'll show you the Google Chrome language settings as well, so that when you are typing, it doesn't mark everything as spelled wrong if it's in a different language, and then also where you can get more information for other devices. So let's start with option one, the old-fashioned way. So what's going on here is this is something that's good if you just want to insert like one symbol. This is helpful for math as well as for language. So the way that you do this is you just press insert, and then you should be able to see either symbol or sometimes special characters. For doing this on a screencastify, it's a little bit hard to see with the tools, so I'm going to hide those for a second. So if you do insert and you scroll down, there is a special characters button. So let's say I'm going to type something, and I'll just do it in the speaker notes here just for that purpose. You're going to go to insert. You're going to scroll down to that special characters and click that. You should have a box come up, and you can do a variety of different symbols here. So you have arrows if you need that. You can change this to whatever kind of symbol you need. If you need something with Braille, with math, etc. For languages, we generally are going to be using the Latin 1 supplement. I'm sorry, Latin 1 supplement is, we'll use the Latin characters for languages that use a Latin alphabet. You can also change this to different types of scripts. If you're, for example, typing in Arabic, you may want, Middle Eastern scripts, etc. So that's how you would change that. Again, this is great for one particular symbol. This is good for equations and other things like that. It is kind of slow though. And if you want to use those symbols more than once, if there are common accent marks that you need all the time, this is not a good option. So the other option is to use the US International keyboard. This is just an image of sort of what that keyboard will do for you. Basically, it's a way to make it super easy. You just are going to click and hold the right Alt button and hit any of those letters, and you'll see what is in blue is what will come up when you type. So first you have to change your keyboard settings in order to access this, but again, it makes it that much faster. So how do you do this? So what you'll need to do on a Chromebook is, if you are doing this for the first time and you've never changed your keyboard settings, you won't have this US here in the bottom right corner. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to press the gear button. So you'll click on this bottom right corner, and you're going to click on the gear button. When you do that, all of this stuff is going to come up, which is sort of irrelevant. What you'll need to do is you'll need to actually scroll down until you get to keyboard. Okay, so you're going to see device and you're going to see keyboard, and you can click that. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to scroll down to the bottom option that says change language and input settings. When you do that, um, you'll see that the language itself, oops, where did I go? The language itself is the language that your Chromebook is in. So, like, if you speak another language besides English as your primary language, this is an option for you to put your entire Chromebook um, into a different language so that it's easier to access. That's what this does. Now, if you just want to change the input method, meaning just the keyboard, you're going to click this input method drop down menu. Okay. And you can see that I currently have two options here. It's possible that you don't have multiple options yet. It's possible you just have that US keyboard. Or maybe you want to add an Arabic keyboard or a Chinese keyboard. So, what you're going to do is you're going to click Manage Input Methods. And then you have all of these options here. So if you wanted, you could just get yourself a PC keyboard if you're used to a PC and you want to do it that way as opposed to the Chromebook way. Um, there are multiple types of keyboards here if you wanted a Spanish keyboard, a Portuguese one. Unfortunately, it doesn't have all of the languages of the world yet, and this is not perfect, um, but it gives you a better idea. What you're going to want to do to make this easier, at least for Romance languages, for Spanish class, for French class, for Italian class, is you're going to want to check this US International keyboard. And once you do that, you're going to go back, okay? And you can actually exit out of this. You're going to take a look at the bottom right corner, and you're going to want to see what your options are for keyboard, okay? So if it's on US, that's the regular keyboard that you're used to using. You want to have it set to US International. So you should see this INTL if that's on, okay? So what that will allow you to do is when you are typing, I'm going to go back to this screen, you can see where if I am going to press that and hold that right alt button, and then I click the different letters, right, you'll see how this works. So if I have that letter A, right, if I hold the right alt button and press A, you'll see that it gives me that accent mark. If I do that with the shift button, I get the capital version of that, right? If I do it with Z and I want to get if I just press and hold the right alt button and press Z, you'll see that it gives me what's shown on the screen next to Z, right? So this works for your Enye, right? This works for all kinds of lettering, right? So you can see all of these different symbol options can come up very, very easily. All you have to do is press and hold that right alt button, and then whatever the letter is. If you don't remember what the letter is, this image will guide you with that. Generally, if it's just an accent mark over a vowel, it's just hold that right alt button and type the vowel. If it's the tilde over the N for the enye, right, it's the same thing. For some of the other symbols, it's slightly different. Okay. But this is all here. This also gives you the option for math symbols. You can see that at the top. So if you're doing fractions, or if you want like if you don't just want the dollar sign, if you want the pound sign or the euro sign, or if you want plus, multiplying, whatever, right? This gives you those options. Okay. So why would you do this? This requires just a couple of buttons as opposed to finding the symbols again and again, copying and pasting. It just makes it a lot faster. Um, so the other thing that I mentioned before was the Google Chrome language settings. If you wanted to actually change the settings so that your computer is in Spanish or French, to make it easier to navigate. That's how you would do this. So again, there are a couple ways to do this on a Chromebook, but you can hit the three buttons on the right side of your browser and hit settings. That'll pull it up. You can also do what we did before, where you hit the bottom right corner and you hit that gear button. Both ways work. And then again, you just scroll down to where you see device and keyboard. So that'll change that. And when you get to that device keyboard, right, you click on that, you scroll down, change language and input settings. And here you would change the language, right? And this is the language used to display things, right? So if you, instead of it saying, file, open, etc., if you want those words to be in a different language, right? Your whole menu, the whole computer, that's how you would do this. Okay. Um, for spell check, um, options, you can customize this as well. So I apologize. So you can use spell check just for English, but you can also set it up so that it spell checks for Spanish, for Portuguese, for French, etc. That's how you would do this here. Um, so I'm going to exit out of that. On other devices, I'm not going to share that right now just because this is just for Chromebooks. But on this presentation that I'm sharing with you, I have linked some YouTube videos to go over that very briefly with you for PC, Mac, iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. If you have questions, send me an email. I'll type in my email for you since I forgot to do that. Okay, so send me an email if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful, and best of luck. How do I stop it? Oh, how do I stop it?